I am joined now by Nate White, who's coming off an impressive victory, beating Austin Hamilton at NEF 41 and staying undefeated. Nate, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Really good. Thanks for joining me here. Also, not only did you get that win, but you also won the Sea Dog Dominant Performance of the Month award. So congratulations on that. I haven't sent this out to you yet, but you get this pretty medal here, and your name's going to be engraved on the back. So congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Now, you did take this fight on short notice. I believe you actually fought two weight classes up. You normally fight at lightweight, but this fight was at 175. Was there any hesitation on accepting this fight on short notice?
No, there was no hesitation. I really wanted to get that fight. Not that one specifically, but I wanted to get a fight. And I thought I was going away. It didn't happen. So, you just got to roll with what you got. And that opportunity arose, and I couldn't put it down.
Did you feel like it was a good matchup for you stylistically against Austin?
I didn't know anything about him. I was told he hasn't had a fight, and he was 170, and he has background in karate and a little bit in wrestling. So, I mean, like I said, I didn't really know a lot about him, so I just took what I could get.
What was the game plan heading into this fight? Did you just want to stick to what you know best, which is clearly your wrestling? You got an extensive background in that. Or are you just going to go in there and try to implement what you do best?
My game plan for this fight was kind of see what he was going to try to do. I mean, if he was going to try to wrestle me, I mean, I think my wrestling can match up pretty well with almost anybody's in the NEFs. I mean, besides like Tom and Zach, their wrestling's good. But pretty much anybody else I think I can roll with. But yeah, I was just going to see what he was going to do and how fast. It was pretty much going to be how fast I was going to have to take him down. And when he threw up those two high kicks, I was like, all right, I'm going to take this to the ground right now.
And you ultimately got the finish in the first round via punches. I don't think that he agreed with the stoppage very clearly. He seemed like he, argued it just a touch. Did you agree with the stoppage, or did you think maybe it was stopped too early?
I think I was beating up on him pretty good. I think the timing of the stoppage was kind of weird because it wasn't that much action at that time. I feel like a little bit earlier it could have been stopped, and at the time of stoppage it was kind of like a dull moment. But I mean, I wasn't gonna lose the back. I was gonna beat up on him more either way. So I think the ref kind of saved him from a little bit more damage.
Yeah, fair enough. You're probably right there. Did you get a chance to watch any of the other fights on the evening? Did you feel like there was any other performances out there that really stood out at NEF 41?
I thought Zach had a really solid performance. I mean, Mike has some hype behind him. Fair enough. He was 2-0 at the time. But, I mean, Zach really dominated that fight. He got swept a couple times, but he always got his position back. He always finished on top at the end of the round. I mean, that was a solid performance. Nate Boucher, I don't think he got touched in his fight. I don't think he got touched once. Cam had that brutal knockout, Chris Sorrow,
Yeah, very much so. That was a brutal knockout, and that's a good analogy. Chris Sorrow, when he knocked out Raz, and also his most recent opponent, very vicious. He's got some power in his. Now, you did mention Mike as he fought Zach Richard, losing the belt to Zach there for the lightweight title. You actually been called out by Mike previously. Any thoughts on that? Is that a fight that you'd like to have happen down the line?
If it happens, it happens. I don't really care. It's not like on my list of people I'm looking to fight. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm not afraid to fight anybody. He talks about me a lot. I almost think he's in love with me or something. I'm handsome, but I didn't think I was that handsome.
What are your thoughts on his style as a fighter? I mean, he's got some flashy kicks. Right up until he fought Zach, he was really putting it on people. He looked very, very impressive. In this fight against Zach, although it was close, he did lose the fight. It was clear. What are your overall thoughts on him as an opponent? How do you think he would fare against you at this point in your careers?
I think he's too flashy on his feet, to be honest. And I mean, I'm not saying this in like a You know, because he called me out, I'm saying this because I think it's true. I think he's too flashy. I think he could be a really good fighter if he went back to the basics and toned it down a little bit. Take his career a little slower. I think people get a little title happy. I'm not chasing a title. I just want to take my time and develop. Yeah, I'm not looking for the big fights yet. No need to rush something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're only 19 years old, so you have your whole life ahead of you and your whole career ahead of you, still as an amateur and undefeated. Tell me how you got into the sport of MMA. Obviously, background in wrestling, but did you watch, UFC back in the day? How did you, I guess, fall in love with the sport and want to, try a career for yourself in it?
So yeah, like you said, I wrestled a lot. Ever since I was real young, I was wrestling. And I started going to the fights when I was a freshman or so, and I would go to all the fights, every single one. And when I graduated, I expected to go to Maine Maritime to wrestle, and that just didn't work out financially. I just couldn't do it. So I needed something to fill that void, and I started playing semi-pro football, but that didn't really work out with my work schedule. So my goal was I wanted to fight once, and after that first fight, I was like, you know what, it happened quick, didn't really get the fulfillment out of it. So I was like, all right, one more. And after that second one, that one really hooked me. I was like, all right, we're just gonna roll with this, see where it goes.
So what are your goals now? Now that you're hooked, you're undefeated as an amateur. What is it that you want to accomplish now as a mixed martial artist?
I just want to develop. I want to be a real solid fighter all the way around. Been working on my stand-up a lot. My wrestling, I go to wrestling practice every day. I just want to be a well-rounded fighter, and I want to be dominant. Like I said, I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not going to go up to Matt Peterson, hey, I want a title fight. I'm 4-0. I don't care about that title.
Now, you have a very interesting, I guess, way about you. I obviously seen pictures post-fight. You have the MAGA hat on, which I love. I think that's great. And what you said in the cage post-fight was Epstein didn't kill himself. So I almost feel like you're channeling your inner Colby Covington. Do you have anyone that you, I guess, aspire to be like? Are you trying to, like, have your own shtick as a fighter?
Well, it is very similar to Colby Covington, but I just really believe in being who you are, and embrace it. I really don't care what people think about me. A lot of people think I'm a dirtbag. I go through comments on Facebook. They clearly don't know me. I'm a real nice guy. I get along with pretty much everybody. The way I fight is, I'm not fighting to become friends with people. I'm fighting to fight. So, really, my favorite fighter is Nate Diaz. I just like the way he carries himself. But if you look at him outside of the cage, he's a nice dude. So
Yeah.
I would say I carry myself more like him.
Okay. I've met Nate on 2 occasions. You're right. He's a very nice guy. And I love the way he carries himself inside the cage. To follow up on what you just said, you said people think you're a dirtbag. Where is that coming from? Why would anybody think that?
I think it's based on my political views, somewhat. And the way I carry myself inside the cage, I remember my fight with Justin Kangas. Great dude. Just heat of the moment thing where I stood over him after the fight and put my arms up. I have nothing but respect for him and his team. Same thing with Ryan Savage. I never had beef with him, but hyping the fight up on Facebook, and his teammates got on there, and we kind of had a little bit of beef. So, I have nothing against anybody in this fight game. Just trying to sell tickets and trying to have a good time doing it.
Now, the next NEF card is right after the Super Bowl. It's February the 8th, I believe, down in Portland at a new venue. Can we expect to see you fight on that card?
I'm looking to find a fight right now. Looking to make that place great again.
I love it. I love it. Now, I know you said you're not looking for a title fight. You're just trying to develop. But is there anyone that stands out that you would like to fight? Does Mike Murray make sense? Or is there someone else that you think is next for you?
I'm trying to get a fight closer to my weight class, which is 145. That's really what I should be fighting at. My first fight against Clifford Redmond was supposed to be at 145. I think he had a little bit of a rough weight cut, so we agreed to fight at 55. So I've really been just taking fights where I could get them, but I'd like to get a fight at my true weight class, which is where I should be. So 145 is where I'm looking to fight. Don't really see many prospects. I'm kind of looking around still for somebody who would be a right fight, and maybe eventually cut down to 35. I really think I could do it with the right diet.
Wow. Now, this last fight, as I mentioned earlier, was at 175. Is that what you walk around at? Did you have to cut zero weight for that fight?
No, I was putting on some weight to fight there. I walk around at about 160, 165.
Okay.
And I mean, before weigh-ins, I was drinking a lot of water. It was kind of brutal, really. People were like, oh, it must be nice to, not have to cut weight. I was like, yeah, well, kind of have to take a piss. So.
Well, hey, you got in there, you made weight, and you had a very impressive victory, staying undefeated in your amateur career. So congratulations on that. It's actually a pleasure to have you join me for the first time. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you fight next. Hopefully it's on that February 8th card. Before I let you go, if there's anyone you want to thank or any social media you'd like to plug for people to follow you, floor is yours.
All right, I'd like to thank NEF for giving me the opportunity to fight. Jim Cole, Gaskill, Printing, Red Oak Forestry, Vacation Land Limousine, JB over at Famoso BJJ for all the great work, my teammates and coaches at CMBJJ. And the last thing I'd like to say, before this is all over, everyone's going to ride on the mule train.
I love it, Nate. Well, listen, man, thanks again for the time, buddy. Let's talk again soon and do another interview before your next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Have a good day.